want to welcome everyone into today's webinar, How to Present Winning Quotes and so much more with Jeremy Powers from Powers Insurance Experts. You know, at Canopy Connect, we're all about streamlining the collection of insurance information, deck pages, all that stuff. But it's important to understand why it's important to do this and why you're going to want all that information from the deck pages. But information is just information. What you really want is like, what are you going to do with this information, right? How are you going to work that into your quote to do something to present something that's competitive and compelling and value-based. And I think the ability to navigate that is really what's going to separate good from great. I want to introduce our guest today, Jeremy Powers. He opened up Powers Insurance Experts in 2020. He's got 10 years of experience in the insurance industry, and he's had a big focus on education, personalization, and excitement. It's resulted in him winning a lot of awards over the last, several years and generating a ton of leads. He's doing his own coaching with a lot of agents and agencies as well. And I know he's out there looking to really level up the game, and I really appreciate you joining us, Jeremy. And then moderating today is going to be Robert Borchter. He's our Canopy Connect's head of agency sales. And over the last 2 years here at Canopy Connect, he's helped more than 1,000 agents, get onboarded and get working with Canopy Connect and really improve their business as well. So welcome to you both. And Jeremy, just to kick things off, if you want to give us a little bit more color,
Sure.
a little bit more backstory to your journey on how you got here.
Well, I'm here with the man, the myth, and the legend that is Robert. So, I've done something in my life, So no, we're having a great time. It's just an honor to be here and to just be able to help agents. I know that when I took the leap from a captive agent, which there is nothing wrong if you're here today and you're captive, all the power to you. For me, I learned so much in that realm. But I took the leap of faith into small business ownership in 2020. And we have been so blessed. I tell everyone we started with $3,000 in a dream, and we are, over a $2 million book now, and we are a personal lines agency. And so, I just tell everyone I go to work every day. I had no idea that what we were doing was anything special, but everyone's like, "Hey, man, like, what number did you say? You're in South Carolina and you're doing what?" And so it's just been really fun to just be a part of that and to really just create relationships with customers that. I don't feel like we don't spend a penny on marketing until we just won the most recent award that we did. We're hosting the whole Free Times party this year, but that's the first real money we've spent on marketing since we opened our doors. And we just use really great tools like Canopy Connect and others to just be successful in our agency.
All right, amazing. So, Jeremy, let's first start with how's the new office? I think you moved in yesterday, right?
That's it. We moved in yesterday, so it's great, man. I'm in the heart of the city that I love. We're right here in Columbia, which is for us Main Street, and so it's beautiful. We've got a little bit of a view here, so I can look out and just see all the fun stuff. And man, it's just so great to just be here. Finally, we've been dreaming about this for a little bit, and we've had to move twice already in our small growth. Started in a mortgage office, and then we moved, and now we're hopefully in a place we'll call home for a long, long time. So I appreciate you asking that.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And I just saw a couple of our customers already in chat, chatting, and I saw Kelly from Calvary. So welcome everyone. Really, really excited to have everyone here. This session is really to learn, Jeremy, from you, what you're doing right, and what are the kind of takeaways for the other agencies here. So yeah, kick us off. Like, what's how's the journey been with starting the agency and kind of getting that initial traction? Maybe start there and not just focus on Canopy, but just like a little bit broader.
Sure.
How did you get where you're right now?
Well, so like I said, I started with Allstate. Remember just putting years into that, and was very blessed to work my way up very quickly to an agency manager, and just worked right there. And so being in that space really taught value over price. It taught education over, in my opinion, you have to learn something that sets you apart if you're only selling one carrier. And I think that you can take that and use it to your advantage, or you can complain. I just choose to live on the side of optimism. because everyone wants to go towards the sun. No one wants to go the opposite way. And so I just chose, no matter where I am, just to believe that it's where I'm supposed to be. And, you know, in our agency, we started right before COVID. You know, we opened January 1st of 2020. And so, you know, we're just blessed to be here. We're blessed to be still operational 2.5 years later, but to be thriving, to be to the point where we are adding staff and we're growing and we're, you know, moving up our location to have a permanent home. You know, it's been a beautiful experience. And I just believe that optimism, and always believing that if we go to work every day and we really focus on taking care of people, that it's all gonna figure itself out. If we love enough people, they all know other people. And that's really where we find our success, is that we get multiple calls a day that are referrals. On social media, we have a local page called Soda City Connectors. And, you know, when someone mentions insurance there's 15 comments and there's 13 people that say Powers Insurance Experts. Like, you know, it's just been amazing to see what really caring and having a focus on being passionate about what we do as educators can really turn around and create an army for you when it comes to your clients.
Yeah, that's amazing, Jeremy. So that's great. And I saw that Mitch Gibson also is on the call today. I think you did a quick podcast with him yesterday. So
we did.
You're definitely moving up, which I love. So yeah, let's dive into like a little bit. Yeah, go ahead, Jeremy.
Before that conversation with Mitch yesterday, I was an introvert. Like, he just brought it out. Like, I just feel like a new man after that podcast. And man, we had such a great time. But, you know, half the things I say, I probably stole from him, because I know he's coming on in the next week or two. So I just have to go ahead and take all the good things.
No, exactly. You're stealing his thunder. So, but yeah, no, that's awesome. And by the way, Jeremy, maybe a quick plug. You also have your own podcast now, I see. So tell us a little bit more there.
Yeah, so we have a podcast. It's really a dream come true. The name of our podcast is called Purpose Over Profits. And so ultimately, for me, as the driving force of that podcast is to be the change we want to see in our community, to ultimately give advice that will help somebody take that leap into small business ownership or taking that next step in their career, but also to show businesses that are doing things the right way, because profits are very important. They're the driving force, but without a purpose, it's going to be a lonely trip. And so we just want to inspire more people to leave that legacy of purpose over profits. And it all starts with putting in the work to create a podcast and hopefully, you know, gaining some traction. And man, we've been very blessed so far. It's 3 episodes in, and I can't tell you the amount of just feedback we've received. It's just been outstanding. I appreciate you bringing that up.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. No, of course, and it's great to see that you're like, I love your energy, and I think that's we're definitely aligned on like bringing positivity to work every day. I think is a big driver for long-term success. That's awesome. But yeah, let's dive into a bit more of the nitty-gritty. If you get a deck page from someone, right, like home or auto, like what do you kind of do like with that information? Like, can you kind of walk us through like what are you looking for? How do you evaluate? Like, kind of take us through that.
Absolutely. So, you know, what we're looking for is to see what coverages do they really have, because everyone says they have full coverage, you know, and so then you have to, you know, break that apart and explain to them there's no such thing as full coverage. You know, and we in the insurance world, and I'm guilty of it as well, we really have to stop allowing ourselves to even say that, because it's it's not the reality. And I think that when you take the time, in my opinion, people think, oh, I want liability only, and they're saying the cheap stuff. In all transparency, liability and underinsureds are the most important factors when it comes to an insurance policy. And so when we can get that information and we can really take a look at it, we can better understand. I don't care what they're paying. We're not a priced agency. And I'll show you, we just got a new Canopy. We just got a new Canopy right there, you know, coming through. So, you know, so we love our Canopy. And so, but we use that information to educate the client. You know, I mean, it gives us an opportunity to be, with the word that I love is trusted advisor. It gives us that opportunity to set ourselves apart from the competition. Because I don't know about you, if I'm going to buy a television tomorrow and I walk into Best Buy and the guy just says, oh, what do you want? And he just points me to the ones that are on sale. Sure, I might buy a television, but the one that says, hey, Jeremy, what do you want to use it for? What is your plans for this? Like, I want to watch some sports and I want to do this. And he says, oh man, you've got to check out this TV. It's got this resolution and this, that. I mean, dude, I walk out there buying a $200 HDMI cable. And I tell this story because it's true. Like, you know, I love people that have passion and they love what they do, and I will buy from those people. And so you want to be different than anyone else in the game. Be different than anyone else in the game. We're in a boring industry, and we have to have the superpower of making it this much more fun. And if you do that, man, you'd be surprised. It inspires people to take action. It really does.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And very, very good point. So, and then how do you kind of go about like identifying those gaps in coverages? Like how do you kind of go about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, for us, our office, and some people are even higher, but some people will sell anything. We will not, you know, we won't sell 25, 50, 25. That's our state minimum limits. We just won't do that in our agency. And we find that having that, making that, just drawing that line in the sand has actually helped us, because there's a lot of people that say, oh, we do that, but they're willing to sell a policy just because they want to sell a policy. But if you draw that line in the sand and say, we're not willing to do that, you know, our agency at minimum recommends 131. We really want to see people 25, 250,000, 500,000, 100,000 with an umbrella. That's what we want to see. And we always offer that. But I think it's just being able to look at the coverage, especially like I said, on that auto side, being able to see what they have. So you don't have to just guess, hey, I think you have this, or I think you have that, or maybe they don't have rental car. Maybe they don't have any medical payments. You know, maybe they've got 131 liability, but their uninsured's 25, 50, 25. So you're saying, hey, you hitting someone and you think you'll never get in an accident. But what about DUI Bobby, who's leaving the bar right now, who's going to hit you? And if he can't afford to pay his insurance bill, how is he going to pay your medical bills? And so helping people understand what the coverages mean, help them understand where their dollars are going. And they'll sometimes put, like, we sell a lot of policies that are more expensive than the quotes that we get. We don't care about the price, because we're going to give you a better bang for your buck whenever you come to us, because we're giving you more value when it comes to that policy.
Boom. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Love it. Love it, Jeremy. Somebody already noticed my accent. It is indeed from, I'm actually Dutch. I am from the Netherlands, born and raised. So ask me any questions on that as well. All right. So for and then you mentioned the trusted advisor, right? So how do you position yourself as a trusted advisor? Like how do you get there with the prospect?
So we take away all the guesswork. I think there's three things, and we do this in our Canopy post that we make on our Facebook, which we are not hiding anything. My goal in life is to do something worthy of giving it back to the industry that gives me so much. There are so many agents that have just blessed me beyond my wildest dreams with info and just help me take that next step. And so being able to give back, I'm not hiding anything. And so you can go onto my Facebook, find me, use my stuff. You can go in Canopy. I give you guys always, you're like, hey, can I post this, or can I take a shot of that? And I'm like, do it, because if you take the guesswork out, hey, what we're going to do for you is you're going to use this link that's going to take away all the pain points. So you're not going to have to go log into your carrier, print off your documents, black out the prices, all of this other stuff. You're not going to have to go, send a carrier pigeon with all your documents tied to it over to my office. You're going to click a button in less than a minute. You're going to give me everything that I need securely. We use the word securely because it is. And then what we say is we're going to then take that information. We're going to decipher it as professionals. We're going to help you best understand what we can do. And we're going to break that down for you in the best date night material you could ever ask for, an insurance proposal video. And so that's going to come to you. You're going to be able to pop some popcorn, watch it, have the best date night ever. And then guess what? If you say, Jeremy, or we always say, when you say, Jeremy, this is what I want to do, you're going to then be able to know that we are going to assist you with canceling your other policies as much as we can, because some carriers are jerks, but we're going to help you as much as we can because we've got your policy numbers. We know who your agent is. We have everything because you sent it to us. And so we take out the guesswork and the confusion, and we've really listened to our customers, the ones that we win, but most importantly, the ones that we don't win. We listen to what their feedback is on what would make the process easier. And so we take that in, and then we try to fill those gaps to be the agency that customers are looking for.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's great, Jeremy. So, and I love the passion already that you're speaking with. So, and that actually, so I already saw somebody reply like, hey, video proposals, I like that. So yeah, tell us a little bit more, like what's kind of your like what's your unique way to present to the prospect? Like to your point,
Oh
you
man,
know, it is boring, but like
yeah.
how do you make it exciting for them,
So
or
I'm
at
going to tell
least
you
something like
guys, our name is Powers Insurance Experts, PIE. Our website is choosepie.com. Everything we do, we try to make this happen. A smile, because you want to break down a wall. You want to have a chance, make someone smile, because if you make someone smile, you become their friend. And so everything that we do as an agency is geared around building a real relationship, whether we're going to be your agent tomorrow or not. I tell them, I'm doing my job when I'm educating you. When you leave this conversation, you're going to be a little bit smarter when it comes to your insurance product. And that means I've done my job. And so I really go into every conversation, not scared that I have to make the sale, but like, I'm going to educate someone today. And then if I don't sell them, the next person I do it's all going to come through. And so I'm going to give you guys the first thing we put in every video. And so I'm like, I'm going to use you, Rob, and say, hey, Rob, this is Jeremy, Powers Insurance Experts. I am so excited to put together this video proposal for you. It's going to do two things. Number one, information overload. This is going to be more than you've ever wanted to know, but just like a physical, that everything's checked out and that you're taken care of. Number two, this is the best sleep aid you have ever received. You just can't sleep at night, man. Just put on this boring insurance video and dude, you'll be to sleep in no time. So all jokes aside, let's go ahead and jump in. And so we do that every video. And so what you're starting it off with is you're starting it off with a joke. You're starting off with something fun, and people are like, okay, I can get through this. If I said, hey, this is Jeremy, it's going to be a really boring video, let's go ahead and hop in, I'm setting the tone for like, what am I doing here? What am I like? Or if I just, hey, we're going to go through coverage A, now coverage B, it's like someone's literally passed out on the couch that, and so let's not do that. Like you can't see the person in front of you, but make it feel like you're right there talking to them. What we lost in a COVID world was interaction with others. And what video proposal does is it gives you the opportunity to be there, to be what people are really seeking in a post-COVID world. And it's just interaction. It's feeling like someone cares about them. And man, what an opportunity do we have?
Nice. Yeah, that's amazing. So what's the and do you use any software for that? Do you track like if they're opening the video, like do you use any automation on there?
So we actually used to use Loom. Guys, Loom's a great service. You can get it for free, or you can pay $8 a month to have unlimited lengthened videos. But I'm going to strongly suggest, and they don't pay me to do this or anything. I wish they did. I wish I was getting paid. But Advisor Evolved, guys, you're underestimating yourself if you're not a part of their system, because if you have the Power Pack, you can create video proposals as part of your website. So when Rob goes and watches my video 3 times because it's amazing and he just loves it, every single minute that he is on that video, he's on my website. And so that's minutes spent on my website that's then turning into me continuously going up the ranks. We've got over 200 5-star Google reviews, which helps, but time spent on the website is huge. And so once again, Loom, I saw that come through. Loom, LOOM.com is a service that you can get if you can't change your website provider, or if you want to go through Advisor Evolved. That is what I would strongly recommend, because you can actually take those videos, tie them to your website, and at that point in time, you're knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone. You're giving proposals. It's beautiful the way that they lay out the page, and it counts as minutes spent on your website. I mean, we're tracking over 3 hours a month spent on our website with folks watching videos.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Jeremy, I love the plugs there. Definitely unscripted this. So that's definitely a great recommendation there. So and then, so if you're talking like, and that's maybe actually like a little bit more in depth. So like if you're presenting a proposal, do you give them different options? Do you kind of tie that back into what you guys initially discussed on like that first call, like what they care about? Like how do you kind of like pitch your pitch the final quote basically?
Absolutely. So that's a great question. I appreciate you asking that. So what we do is we typically start off. So I'm going to talk about what I talk about because I coach some agencies as well. My favorite agencies to coach is because I spend a lot of time there are Allstate agencies. I love coaching, and I have 3 or 4 Allstate clients, and then a 1 or 2 independent agencies as clients now. And so I love my captive world. So I'll start there. you know, with them, you only have one option. And so what you're going to do is you're going to put your option on the left, you're going to put the opposite option on the right, where the customer can see both. You're going to go down those together, talking about the differences. Always make what you're offering better, because, and this is something I teach my staff. If you're going to, I'm going to use Chick-fil-A, it's a great restaurant, so I'm going to use Chick-fil-A. If I'm going there tomorrow and I'm buying one chicken sandwich, it's $3. So what happens if I buy two? It's $6. That's not the way insurance works. If you go from 5150 to 131, you double your coverages, but you're talking about $5 more a month. It's not going from 150 to 200. And so always give a better offering than what your competition has. Always give a better offering, because when you perceive more value, your product looks better from the beginning. There's a difference between McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, and Ruth Chris Steakhouse. I always say, I want to get you as close to Ruth Chris for the price of Chick-fil-A as I can. You know, that's the goal. So as a captive agent, when you only have that one option, put them side by side, go down, but always make yours better, and don't focus on the price. I promise you, if all you're talking about is money, that's all they're talking about. You need to build a value proposition around you. You know, my kids don't think but my clients do. You know, they enjoy, you know, us. My kids are like, you know what, you can have him, give me $5, but our clients are like, yeah, I'll pay a little bit more than $5 for that guy. You know, and so at the end of the day, set yourself apart with that value proposition. And for an independent agency, we start off on our radar. And so we start off on our radar and we bring it up, because I want them to know that I ran it through 10 carriers for them. I've done the work. And my price might be $1,400, but there was a few carriers that were over $2,000. I want them to see that some carriers are over $2,000. And because if I hear $2,000, that makes $1,400 sound pretty darn good. And so then I'm going to say, hey, after doing all this comparison for you, this is my suggestion. And then I leave that screen and I go to that side-by-side comparison with carrier one. Or if there's two options, I will say, hey, here's carrier one versus your carrier, and then I'll get rid of both and just bring up the third carrier, the second option afterwards. And so you want to keep these videos, I try to say 8 minutes max. And so you just work through it. It's gonna be awkward. I love when I hire someone new and we get to create blooper reels for our Christmas party of them making their first videos. I mean, we just have fun with it. And you have to embrace the awkwardness of your first few. But fortunately, we live in a repetitive world. And so that if you keep putting in the practice, by video 5, I'm telling you, you're doing this in your sleep.
That's awesome. And then I think related to that, like Zach already asked a question, like, do you use like any sort of coaching, or like Greg Wiggins he's mentioning? Like, do you use any of coaching yourself? Yeah, like.
So I'm trying to be my own Craig Wiggins when I grow up, and so I definitely went through the Craig Wiggins coaching program in the past. You know what I try to do with my thing is I don't feel like anyone is exciting enough. I mean, once again, education is a thing, but when education meets excitement, man, a beautiful thing can be born. And people want to be around the sun. Warmth is a really good feeling. And so if you can be the sun, I think that's what no one's teaching. It's like, it's a mix between Tony Robbins and Craig Wiggins is what I'm trying to bring into the insurance industry. And it's getting people to realize that you have to take action. This can't be something that you do once and then you stop and then you do it every now and then. It's for every single customer. Everyone is worth your time. And if you really take that mindset, then man, the sky's the limit. You can't make anyone feel like they're not worth a 5-minute video.
All right. That's awesome. All right. So like so far so good. I think it would be great to maybe dive a little bit into, because we're going to have a lot of Canopy customers on here. So maybe dive a little bit into how you're using Canopy kind of in this process, and then we'll handle some of the Q&A questions. By the way, keep the Q&A questions coming. Just put them in the Q&A, not in the chat, because then we'll probably lose track of it. But yeah, tell me when you first got started with Canopy. Yeah, like there's a learning curve there too, right? Like it's new for the prospects. They probably haven't heard of it. It's new to you as an agent. How did you kind of go about like pitching that first link to a client?
Perfect. Now I'll say, Trey, I love you, man. I just saw your little thing pop up there. My wife just got licensed. She's going to sell her first policy because I made her a bet like 2 years ago. If she ever sold a policy on her own, I would work on a book. And so now I'm getting really nervous because she just made an 86 on her test. She passed it. So now I'm starting to shake a little bit. I'm like, what am I going to write a darn book about? But I made a promise and I got to keep it up. So Trey, I'll let her know that you said that. But, you know, using Canopy, guys, we were not using this at first. And we still made the videos, but it was Canopy is just as much for you as an agent as it is for the customer. Man, what a great opportunity to uncover maybe that a young driver's not on a policy. Oh yeah, my kid, State Farm, they have all of us on the policy. Okay, well, send me everything over. Oh wait, I don't see your 18-year-old driver listed on this policy. And so all of a sudden it's like, wait, what? Because we're looking at the policy. Or maybe you uncover that they have a motorcycle or a special lines item for like some valuable jewelry or an umbrella policy, or they think they have something that they don't. You know, so Canopy is such a beautiful tool for you as an agency. For me training new staff, there is no better way than to say, hey, we have your code on the back of your business card. I want you to get out there and make it happen. If you can bring me back 5 quotes a week, I promise you I can make you successful, because with repetition, winner. And so when it comes to your onboarding process for new hires, you cannot tell me that their first month as an insurance agent is not going to be 10 times better, and that your retention on your staff is not going to be 10 times higher if they are selling business. And that Canopy Connect is such an awesome way to not just have smoke and mirrors to what the customer has. You're literally looking at it. You can see it right in front of you. You know exactly. I always tell everyone it's like going into battle. And if the enemy's wearing a headgear and a chest piece, but they're not wearing anything from the waist below, you need to know where to attack them. And this gives us the opportunity to know what we're up against and to really educate and use it as a seamless, streamlined process that helps our A to Z finish of our processes, as well as, I mean, we have probably an 85% closing ratio here. And I would say that Canopy really helps that stay in tune, because people think that we are next level. They're like, wow, like, man, you guys are really efficient. And it's like, no, Canopy's way too cheap. But I hate to say that on a call, but man, I'd pay double for it. Don't charge me double, but man, it's literally a secret weapon. And if you're not utilizing it, I had a few agents that told me, oh, we're just paying by the click and we're just doing this. And I was like, guys, you're missing the boat. And I think all of them now are full in, because if you don't give Canopy the respect it deserves, you can't expect your clients to, and you can't expect your staff to. It all starts with you, leader, and you have to set that tone and you have to use it. And I'm telling you, just watch all of your dreams be blown when you start really utilizing one of the best softwares that's really on the market right now.
All right, I'm just gonna stop talking, Jeremy. That's what else can I add? No, that's amazing. So, and Mitch, thanks for chiming in. I was actually gonna ask that. So Mitch is like, hey, talk through, like, not everybody, like, okay. So I think we get a lot of comments from even prospective agents wanting to use Canopy, like, hey, like, do people actually have an online account? Are they actually going to use this, right? Mm-hmm. Like, they probably compare it to themselves. They probably don't have an online account themselves, and they're like assuming that everybody doesn't have one. So how do you so one, is that the reality? And two, how do you handle when it comes up, right? Like, you have somebody that doesn't have an account or doesn't feel comfortable.
I love this. I was able to overcome this with one of our coaching clients. We were in an Allstate office, and the two of the staff, when I left, they were like, man, I really don't know if I want to use this. Are you sure that ultimately the reason they didn't want to use it is because they weren't sure if it was secure, and they weren't sure. And so when we were able to dive in and help them understand, like, you're not giving this company your login credentials, and so it's on number one, find out what someone's reservation is. But if you believe in it enough and you have that belief, it really pushes over to the client. Okay. And so that's important. But for me and our agency, and a great question, Mitch, and what we talked about last night was that if you're not willing to fill out a Canopy, I don't know if you're a client that we want to have. And I'm willing to say that is that I am actually of the belief that the customer's not always right. I'm actually of the belief that I hire people that I really trust, and I honor them, and I don't want to bring clients into this agency that are going to be problems. We had a new rep at 8 years at our old carrier start with this. She's like, it's crazy how the phone doesn't ring here every day with people complaining and having billing problems. They're just asking for quotes. And it's because we do not set ourselves up to deal with problems. That's not, you got to really look at what your return on investment is. And so if you're not willing to fill out a Canopy, you better sell me on why you should be my customer. And I'm not saying that to be arrogant, but our agency is designed in a way to meet those customers. We utilize Glovebox in our agency. We utilize a lot of things that make things techie and easy. And I'm kind of tech illiterate. So you don't have to be techie to have a techie agency. You just have to understand how to use the systems well enough to be dangerous that you're using. And so I would say, if you're having a lot of trouble with people filling them out, just take a step back and ask yourself, have we outlined our ideal client in our agency? And do these clients that are telling us no fit the mold? Because if you're wasting your time on the 4 clients that are yelling at you, when there's 1,000, if you just turn the other direction, that are really willing and ready, and they're going to be your ideal client, like, just think about that book that you're building.
Wow. That's actually like that's a big knowledge drop. So I hope people are listening. I think that this is a very, very good point, because exactly, like, you might run into it, right? And is that actually your right client? So no, I love that. Like, I love that approach. Like, that's where it's at. All right. So how did you go about? It seems like a pretty like process driven the agency, because like we also hear from agents like, hey, Luke, like, I set up my Canopy account, send it to my producers, still nobody's sending out the link, right? So like, how do you kind of go about embedding it in the day-to-day process?
Yeah, I wish I were a process guy. Luis Liao, if you're on this podcast, I love you, man. He's my process guy, as far as just looking at an agency who just literally drools over processes. Guys, I cannot follow a schedule. I am not, like, I probably had 4 meetings that I missed to be on this one because I've double, triple booked myself. Like, I have weaknesses. I promise I do. And I'm not scared to be transparent in those. I think that you just have to work so hard to build out enough of something that it works. And then you have to find someone on your team that drools over that kind of stuff and unleash them. Find someone that loves to do that and allow them to do that. And so really what we get to do, what we get to do is we get to empower people to do what they feel called to do. And then we all get to, when your team is a part of the building process, they're going to be a lot more invested. If your team helps make the cake, they're going to eat the cake. You know what I mean? And so I would tell you that, are you being a domineering leader and you're not allowing them the process? Are you not helping them understand? Are you not getting them onto calls like this where they're seeing agents be successful with it, agents that they can, not saying even me, but agents that they can try to mentor, they can look at as a mentor, try to mold their game after, and say, okay, this is in their arsenal. When I was on that call with Mitch yesterday, we didn't know that each other really used Canopy, but we were able to see, here's 2 like-minded people that in a table of 4 people, he's someone I would invite to my table. They're using those same processes. They're doing those same things, like a David Watson and Mappis, they're doing those same things, a Trey Sinclair on this, but these are people that are movers and shakers in this industry, and they're doing these things. And so, guys, it's not hard to be successful. Quit being scared to imitate successful people. Like, the playbook's out there, and if your team's not getting behind it, I would say that I have some coaching clients that I literally get on, and I'm like, the reason they're not doing it is because you're not doing it. And I tell them, when we start weekly meetings, when we start doing these things, if you're not setting the tone and being accountable to yourself, you cannot expect your team to do what you're not willing to do. And so until you're willing to do it and you're willing to hold yourself accountable, don't expect your team to do anything.
Yeah, no, that's great point, Jeremy. I love it. So, by the way, we're also definitely gonna have to put. So, Mitch, send us the link of that podcast with that you did with Jeremy, because it sounds like there's some good snippets in there as well. So, but yeah, that's exciting. So, all right, maybe one bonus question, then I'll go into some of the Q&A questions. Actually, while I'm looking at the Q&A questions, I think there's also some non-Canopy customers on this webinar. So, maybe in like a couple sentences, like how would you describe Canopy to them? Because, of course they can check our website, book a demo with me, and we can talk about it. But like, how would you kind of describe it to
Canopy Canopy Connect is in 2050 right now. And so if you want any idea what 2050 looks like and how vastly incredible technology is going to be in the future, Canopy they somehow have figured it out. And so I'm telling you, and you guys have like a trial period, I mean, and your pricing is literally cheaper than about anything else on the marketplace. I'm telling you guys, this software could easily cost $400 a month. And although I would go every month when it clicked, you know what I mean? I would still have to do it because it is just like anything. If you get a gym membership and you don't go, you're not going to gain a muscle. You're not going to build any tone. You're not going to tone up. This is a muscle that has to be worked. But if you work it, it's something on steroids. I mean, it's going to grow so fast. I mean, we're 200 pulls in and we've only been using it for 3 or 4 months. You know what I mean? And that's 200 pulls on one of our main accounts. You want to hear another secret weapon? Go out and make some friends with some captive insurance agents. If you're an independent agency, give them the opportunity when they can't help someone to give them your Canopy link, because there's people they don't want to help and there's people that they can't help. And if you're their friend and you have a real relationship, they're gonna give those people those links, and those people are gonna send that information in. And man, what a secret weapon, what a tool to do that. Or partner up with a property management company or a home inspection company and offer a raffle. Like, hey, one of our home inspections is going to be free per month. If you fill out the link, we're gonna give back one of our inspections, and you obviously raffle that off, and you've got all these people that are about to close on a home who are insurance shopping is on their mind. What an opportunity to build some unique referral situations that isn't a mortgage partner or a real estate agent. Why not think about other options? And man, we use them in vets for our pet insurance product, where they will fill it out and then they have the opportunity to submit all their documents with Canopy. We have a video that's going to be created on our website where it's going to be me turning around, be like, oh, thanks for filling out that video. Why don't you just click right there and upload your documents through Canopy? Like, we're going to make it fun when someone submits an online request, and we're going to have a link for Canopy right here where my thumb is pointing, and we're going to make it fun. And that's what people are looking for. And so I'm excited to see what you guys, the only reason I'm here sharing this right now selfishly is because you guys are going to I put you here. This is now your foundation. You're going to do something incredible. And I'm just hoping that you'll send me a postcard and tell me what you did so I can copy it.
Nice. Exactly. That's amazing. Which also, if I look at another question that we got, and by the way, so with Canopy Connect, like really quick, like you basically send a link out to them, or you have it on your website, and people just log into the carrier, and we get all the policy documents. So just easy agency one. If you guys want to get a demo, just book that. But Kristen, and by the way, love your the chat that you're and all the tips you're giving already. Kristen is asking, like, what do you like? Share us a little bit about those campaigns. Like, if you've been talking about it a little bit, maybe if you're even willing to share some of those examples, we can actually send it in a follow up to people here. But yeah,
examples of what now?
Of the campaigns that you're running with Canopy, like kind of like maybe just mention the most creative one so far where you're using Canopy and getting connected with folks, or it doesn't even have to have Canopy in there.
Sure. No, I mean, some of the campaigns like that we're doing, it's like we have 2 local coffee shops. I'm a coffee shop nerd, and so I always dreamed of having an insurance agency that was beside a coffee shop, and it was just an open space. And because if someone's willing to spend $5 on a cup of coffee, I can sure show them why they should spend a little bit more on their insurance. And so so for me, we try to meet at places where there's people that we would want to do business with. And so we'll have some opportunities to scan, because we're doing some raffles for some local coffee shops that we're really close with that are our clients and just good friends. One Beach was on our podcast, just the one that just dropped. And so his story is incredible, but we'll do that. And then, like I said, the home inspection, what's really funny is I'm a big B&I nerd. I'm a networking nerd. And so our home inspector in our group, he came to me and said, hey, I want to get quotes from you. And I said, okay, great. And I do it just for them like I would anyone else. And let this be an example. Don't underestimate anyone just because you know them. I made the video, I sent it. And what happened from that is his wife watched it. And she owns a furniture store. And she said, you know what? I think I want to sell insurance. Like, we in our video inspired her to want to sell insurance. And so they said, hey, can we get lunch? We just want to talk to you about some things. And, I was like, okay, I'm going to have to politely let her down because I don't need anyone. But darn if she didn't sell me on that video. Like, she didn't sell me at lunch on why I should give her a chance. And so it literally, making these videos inspired someone to want to be an agent. Like, to me, it's just incredible that it so much more can happen than you ever expect. So much more can happen there. And when you take that extra few minutes to be different than everyone else, different things happen. And when we're going through the great job resignation, we have 9 people that want a job tomorrow. I started this business with $3,000 in a dream. So I just don't have this plush bank account to start, throwing out salaries everywhere, but we're certainly trying to grow it as fast as we can.
All right. No, that's awesome. All right. So and then and Dean has a great question as well. So can you talk a little bit more about the process that you're using to XCL, which I guess excess limits for the incumbent policies? Can you talk a bit through that, Jeremy?
Sure. So that is something that I will say storytelling, and there's someone on here that talked about Craig Wiggins coaching, and so they do a great job at storytelling, and I think that's what we do. And so what we do is we just really help people understand what these limits means. And so I'm like, hey, if you were in an accident tomorrow where $130,000 of damage was caused and you hit myself, my wife, and my kids were in a vehicle, and we're injured, and ultimately you're a kind person. You want to make sure that we're protected. You want to make sure that if I'm out of work, that my kids have food to eat, and so those limits are important, not only because they protect you, but they also protect that person that you hit. And it's not coming out of your bank account, and so what we do is we just explain what those coverages mean. We explain with your current limits, this is what would have happened. And my joke is always, Rob, I know you don't have a money tree in your backyard. I know I don't. And if you do, then we're having a barbecue this weekend, and I'm coming over. We're gonna have the best time ever. But the truth is you don't have a money tree in your backyard that you can go pluck 75 grand from. And you've worked really hard, Rob, to get to where you are right now. It's been such a pleasure working with you and seeing what you've built. And my job is to protect that one accident that you never thought would happen doesn't impact the next 20, 30 years of your life. That's why I take the time to make this video for you, is because you matter to me. Boom.
Yeah, that's awesome. Jeremy, okay. One question again on the Canopy side. That's the last one for the Q&A. I'll just read it out loud here. This is from Victoria. So as a Canopy user, how do you present Canopy to customers? We do love it, but we aren't always getting as much feedback or responses from customers as we'd like. So any tips there for just new users or people not using it as much as they can?
Sure. I think that you have to be careful yourself to not allow people to push you back to the old way of doing things. Oh, hey, I'd like to, so if you call me, I'm like, hey, Rob, it's so nice to talk to you. Man, we're so excited to give you a quote. What I want to do is I want to be the best advisor I can for you. And so I'm going to send you a link. Is it okay that I text you this link? Oh, yeah, sure it is. Okay. I'm going to text you a link, and I'm going to text you 3 questions that I have, because the link's not perfect. It doesn't give me everything that I need to know, but I'm going to text this link to you in less than a minute. We're going to finish what we can spend the next 15 minutes on the phone doing. We're going to have done in a minute, which is going to allow me to access your quotes, to be able to put together a proposal for you, and I can call you back, or I can send you the video, and then we can talk afterwards. And so I think that, if you walked into the doctor tomorrow and they told you, hey, this is what we're going to do, and they really had authority in that in a kind way, but they set the structure for what's going to happen, then you would follow that. And so my thing is that are you really doing a good job, or are you letting the first rock they throw shatter that glass house, and you're back? If you don't believe in it, then you're going to fall back. But you've got to believe in the process, because it's ultimately best for the customer, and it's best for you, because you're going to uncover gaps, and you're going to be able to actually truly advise them in a side-by-side comparison video, not them saying, okay, well, let me take your stuff and compare it to State Farm, and they're never really going to do that. You're like, no. It's all right here for you. It's all, and sell that to them, is that I'm going to give you a one-stop shop to make a complete review. And hey, Rob, if I'm not the best fit, man, we can shake hands and be best friends. And down the road, if I'm ever a good fit, you'll call me back. I'm an educator. You're a bill payer. It's not my job to win every time, but I'd sure love to show you why we're different.
Boom. All right. I love the knowledge, Jeremy. We should probably do another one of these soon. I think we more good things keep coming up. Also, Ray, thanks for reminding like everybody that's already a Canopy customer. We have a Facebook group, Canopy Connectors. So definitely join that as well for like some best practices. We'd love to hear you there. Jeremy, really small thing but related. Like not every carrier is going to give back driver license date of birth. Like how do you do you like specifically ask people to fill out that last step?
Yeah.
What do you do for that?
So this is what we ask. We let people know, and I think you have to do is say, hey, like it's going to ask you to securely share each driver in the household. We need to, enter that date of birth or driver's license number. And, and if you feel too nervous asking someone to do that, let them fill out the app, and then you can just reply to an email and say, hey, I just got your State Farm information. So they know that you know some about them. Like the only thing I'm missing are the date of birth and driver's license number. Someone's already taken the one step. When someone's taken the first step, it's so much easier to take 2, 3, and 4. And so if you could just simply get someone to fill out the link, it's not hard to get to then reply back and be like, wow, I was just looking at your State Farm policy. I can see so many areas where I cannot wait to go over with you. But one thing before I get started is I need this and this. And so that's an idea. But then the 3 things that we ask folks is, hey, it's not going to tell us the age of your roof on this. I want to know what kind of dogs you have. And a lot of times what we'll do is we really go above and beyond with something we do called send out cards. And so we'll actually send cards out to our community. And so if someone has I have a lab, be like, oh man, we love dogs here. Send us a picture of yours. And we're going to send out a card to them with their dog on the front of it. And it's going to have our pet insurance product built in it. So we're really thinking about so many different questions because it makes them take those small actions. And small actions, one after one, lead to big results. And so what we want to do is ask them a few questions that they can answer easily so that we don't have to come back later on. And so guys, I'm telling you, just try this stuff and do it 10 to 12 times and don't think about it. Be as dumb as I am to do things without thinking about it and just watch how sometimes it really works to your advantage.
I love that. And it is a little bit about, it's kind of, I like the prescribing part that you mentioned. It's just like, hey, this is what's going to happen. I'll walk you through the process. And then one by one, they take that extra step and they go deeper in the funnel, right? So, and that's a great point about the driver license date of birth. We haven't built into the software, but maybe people forget, maybe they don't see it. You just give them a call and get that data. And, you have a good reason to schedule a call to go over the quote or send that video proposal.
Yeah.
So
well, and if
awesome.
I can help anyone, I know there's a lot of folks on this call, so I can't be everyone's hero. But like, if you want, you can find me. I'm not hiding. Like, I would love to be able to help you if you have some questions after this, and you'll see that I'm the same person on this that I am off, and it's scary, but my wife has to live with this, and so it's really fun. I'm really excited that it's working so well for us, and I want nothing but great things for your agency. The cup is always half full, and so whether it's just reaching out over a message or finding us or just friending us and just seeing what we're up to, we really love to help however we can. And I truly mean that. I can't respond if I get 80 text messages in the next 10 minutes, guys. I have a business to run, but I promise I will get back and I will try to help you, because that's the whole goal and the vision of this, is to inspire someone to take action and change their agency.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. So find Jeremy on Facebook. He's amazing. Jeremy, are you going to be at any events in the next coming months that you're going to be in person?
That's right. So in April, I have the honor of my first speaking engagement in the insurance industry at the Better Conference. And so we'll be speaking a little bit more on our card program and how we're really trying to be the change that we want to see in our community by sending out cards into our community. And man, what an organic way to gain business whenever you're seen as the happy agency in your community that's always just spreading positivity. And so I cannot wait to hopefully inspire agents all across America to just create that legacy of purpose over profits. I don't take that lightly when I name my podcast that, because it is my goal when I leave this earth to just to have lived a life of purpose over profits. And it's so awesome to get to speak on a stage and just inspire folks to take action that I'll never have a chance to meet.
Yeah, can't believe that I missed that, but that's amazing. We're going to be there as Canopy Connect as well. We're one of the first sponsors. So great, guys. So yeah, that's going to be exciting. So, all right. I think that's everything. I think that Ray put already for any of you guys that are not Canopy customers, we have the free trial. If you use the discount code PIE, so that's IE 2022 at checkout. You'll also get $50 off your first month as well. So Jeremy, you're already helping folks like save on that first month. So get started. We do demo calls, we do onboarding calls. If there's any questions, like we'd love to talk to your agency. Just like Jeremy, we're in the business of helping you and making sure that your agency sees value. So that's why we have monthly contracts. That's why we like Jeremy's saying, we're charging too little.
Way too little. But let's hurry up and get off the
point.
call before you guys change your minds on that. But hey, someone just asked we'll be at the both of us will be at the Better Conference. That's going to be in Arizona in April. I'm telling you, you want to be around some. I mean, the agents that are on that stage, I cannot even believe that I get to walk out there. And so, I definitely I'm going to be someone's cleanup act. But hey, we'll have all the fun with whatever opportunity we get.
You're already gearing up. You're doing a podcast, a webinar. So and it's still what is it, like 8 months out? So are you going to be at any other conferences still this year? Like maybe
I'll be at Innovation.
Yep. All right.
I'll be at Innovation. I can't wait. I met so many great people there last year. Literally, I brought my wife and inspired her to leave education and become an insurance agent. And so, like, it's so fun.
That's already two new producers you brought into the room. So
that's right. And she's from the Netherlands. We joked about that. So she was a missionary over in the Netherlands. And so you guys were able to, we were able to joke about that or talk about that when we met the first time. And so, man, we're really excited. This industry is such an amazing industry full of givers. I don't think it was that way 15 years ago, guys. Come and just enjoy what this industry has become, full of people that are wanting to inspire others to just be better. Man, it's so much fun.
This was really one of our first really customer spotlights, is making sure that we showcase also, Jeremy, what you're doing. I think in general, learning more about the industry, and I think making, to your point, making everyone a better agent, right? So I think that's what we want to really keep doing. Because we have such an amazing base of customers. So kind of highlighting that, but also at the same time, with some learnings around Canopy and getting into 2050. So
that's right.
But yeah,
that's right.
Jeremy, you gotta share some, and maybe we can put something in the Facebook group with maybe a couple of videos that you're using. If you're whatever you're willing to share, put it there, and then we can have everyone take a look at it. But super inspiring. I really loved everything you said today.
Perfect. I'll have to figure out that with obviously confidential information, or maybe I'll just
try
to we'll figure something out. But absolutely, I would say that I'd be more than happy to try to figure something out. Absolutely. And you guys go. I'm a selfish plug. Come listen to us on Purpose Over Profits. And if you know someone who you're like, man, they would be a great guest on that show. This isn't just a South Carolina thing. We've got. We'll have Billy Wagner on in a few. He'll be on a month and a half. He's just an incredible man. And so if you know someone, you're like, man, they fit that mold. I'm just always looking to meet great people. So very, very excited about that. And I look forward to just growing together with you guys.
Awesome. Love it. All right, Jeremy. Hey, we'll chat soon. We'll have to do another one soon. Thanks.
That sounds good. All right. Later, guys.
Thanks, man. Bye.